This episode is brought to you by SmartVestor. Connect with an investing pro near you at RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor.
Derek is in Tampa. Hi, Derek. How are you?
Living and giving like no one else.
Love it, brother.
Call, guys.
Love it. How can we help?
My wife and I are baby steps millionaires. We are invested in the four mutual funds: growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. Mm-hmm. And every year on December 29th, I rebalance those investments so that they're even to start the new year off.
Okay.
Am I doing that right?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Should I do it more often?
No. I think once a year is more than enough. You're a detail dude for sure. But it doesn't harm anything. I don't rebalance mine unless I look up and they're way out of balance. Like if I looked up and saw, 70% was in one thing or something, then I would go, whoa, that's a little heavy over there. I need to reset that. But 27% down to 25%, no, I don't do that. I don't fool with that. I just don't want fool. But I'm not as detailed a person as you are. I'm more big picture person.
I'm a data engineer, so yes, I am.
Yeah, yeah. And so it gives you peace to do that. It would cause me an ulcer to have to do that.
Numbers, I can see. Yeah, and I can see the numbers move the next year, and it's kind of more exciting for me. That's
kind of fun. Yeah, I like that part. From a math nerd, I like that part. I like saying, "Oh, look at that," and now it's out of balance again. Isn't this working?
A consistent trend, Derek? Because you're deep in it. I mean, like the fact that you've been looking at it every year. Do you see certain ones imbalance over different ones each year?
Let me give a guess for you. Answer.
International.
The international has come up short for the last 8 years.
And it just started taking off, and the small cap is kind of, yes. Yep. What you're saying is correct. Yep. I see them ebb and tide together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So interesting.
Very good. Very good. Okay. And we almost redid our suggestion after 25 years. About 5 or 6 years ago, I went down the rabbit hole with our SmartVestor Pro, who's a friend of mine, and he and I are math riddle nuts. And so we pulled up a whole bunch of hypotheticals of what if you went 20 years, because the international has underperformed the other four categories substantially over a long period of time. It's the worst of the four, okay? And you've experienced that. That's why it was easy to guess. And so, I was thinking about just pulling it out. But what we figured out was that it's offsetting because it runs at the inverse of some of the others. And so when we ran the hypotheticals without it, we didn't make as much money, which was weird because the stupid thing's underperforming. But it kind of was almost like a math riddle, like I said. But anyway, we ended up leaving it in because the hypotheticals that we ran it out 2 or 3 different ways over 2 or 3 different age groups and so forth. And it just made more sense to leave it. So, yeah, but you rebalance it does help offset the fact that the stupid thing has had a really lousy decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Very cool, man. How old are you?
53, and my wife's 52.
Yeah, and what's your net worth?
1.3. I'll give you a second. 1.3 in our retirement, and our house. I got a tricky answer for you there. Our house is worth about $6, but we just we're almost done with an addition that $150,000 we're paying for in cash.
Okay. All right. And so you got about $2 million net worth at 52. Did you inherit any money?
No, all us.
All right. Way to go, guy. Way to go, man.
Thank you.
What do you tell people how did you do that? What was the trick? Did you make a pile of money, or are you just smart, or what? How'd you do it?
We don't go into debt. People think we're crazy, but we do not go into debt. And we moved from a 3-bedroom house to a 2-bedroom house and been here 8 years saving to do this, and people think we're crazy. But we don't go into debt, and we see the benefits from it tremendously.
Yeah. And what's your household income?
My wife retired. 130.
Okay.
She was a special needs teacher.
And she retired at 50.
She retired 48. She's doing some side jobs just to kind of,
because you don't have to work if you got $2 million. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Proud of y'all, man.
Well done, Derek.
Way to go, Derek.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for letting us interview you too. Wow. Very cool. So if you don't know what rebalancing is, guys, we teach people to put a fourth of your income in growth, a fourth in growth and income, a fourth in international, which we were talking about was being the one that was sucking wind, and a fourth in aggressive growth when you're doing your 401k. If one of them grows substantially more than another during the year, in his case, he does it once a year, sometimes people reset it to a fourth at the end of the year. So you might get to the end of the year and one of them has 32% and one of them has 18%, because one of them didn't grow much and the other one took off, right? And so what he's doing is he's smoothing it out each year and going back to 25%, moving them around inside the 401k. Doesn't cost anything to do it. And then it restarts, and then his contributions are still at a fourth. And then he gets to look at it again at the end of the year because he's a data guy and he likes watching it happen and so forth. And, that's a cool thing. So that's what rebalancing is, resetting it to a fourth each, 25% each, because that's our portfolio mix that Rachel and I use, both. Rachel and Winston, Dave and Sharon. It's what we've suggested here for 30 years. It's what all of my retirement is set up on. But mine is not sitting at 25, 25, 25 because I don't rebalance as often as he does. Again, I don't, because I'm just not that into the details. I don't care. It's just a big old pile of money. That's all I'm worried about, right? And so I'm that guy. But it's kind of cool that he's doing that, and especially if you like all the nerdy math stuff, which I actually do. So I probably would enjoy doing it,
right?
Because I enjoy that part of it.
Well, I like to see the trends and the patterns. Like we were talking about over time, over a decade, and seeing which ones are continuing to not perform as much or as well as others. So.
Yeah, so that's what we teach folks to do. And what that does is it each mutual fund has 90 to 200 stocks in it. So if you've got a growth fund that has 90 to 200, a growth and income that has 90 to 200, an international that has 90 to 200, and an aggressive growth that has 90 to 200. So you've then got somewhere between 400 and 800 stocks, roughly, except for the overlap, that you're invested across. And that's a lot of safety because the chances of all of those as a group going down over an extended period of time is really close to zero, okay? That's called diversification. When you spread it around, it's diversification. It's a big financial word. Sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher, okay? But all that means is spread your money around. Money's like manure. It's better if it's spread. It grows things, okay? And so spread it around. Don't put it all in one thing. When you put it all in one thing, you increase your risk. And so if you buy Apple stock with $1 million, or you put it in 800 different stocks with $1 million, the safety factor is way different. Even though Apple is pretty stinking cool and incredible and stable, but still your risk level is way up when you're in one or two stocks.